Hello and welcome to this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast with me, Gareth, and your plosive master, Keith. Say hello, Keith.
Hello, Keith. Yeah, okay. I've been chastised. Rearranged the mic so it's better now.
Okay.
He starts nagging me the minute I'm online. He's like my wife. Leave me alone.
People noticed. It wasn't just me.
I like the t-shirt, by the way. That's cool. And it's not the same
Yeah,
colour as me.
yeah.
I wore black.
I'm really glad that you chose not to wear the same t-shirt this week.
Yeah. I wore black today. I thought I actually cautiously got up this morning and looked in the world and went, I'm going to wear black because he never wears black.
I've got about 5 black t-shirts, you know that, don't you?
Yeah, I know, but you never
I'll be honest
have
with you. I'll be honest with you, with all the melting in the heat, black would have been a really good choice now I think about it. So next week, maybe a black t-shirt. What have you been watching?
What have I done this week? Yeah. I've obviously watched The Silo. I watched the season final of Star City, which is pretty good. I think I finished watching Avatar. I can't remember if I started watching it last week or I finished it by last week. But anyway, done Avatar season 2. And I've been watching the cartoon, when I haven't had anything else better to do. And I suddenly realised how many surprise whamming moments are in season 2 where they've not gender swapped, but they've lessened the male role and heightened the female role. And it's noticeable.
This is the TV show, not the cartoon, yeah?
Yeah, the cartoon, like the TV show, they've done it. I quite liked the first season of the TV show. The second season, he's way too old already. And they took 3 years to turn it around, but they filmed apparently 2 and 3 back to back. But yeah, season 2 wasn't as good. And as I watched the cartoon, it's just like, oh my god, they gender swapped that, or they kind of, like whereas the dad was the forceful one, it's the mum that's the forceful one, or when it's a male ghost, it's now a female ghost, and it's like why do you do that? Why? I mean, there's already quite a lot of sort of powerful female characters in there. Why do you need to add more? That's not inclusion. That's not inclusivity. That's fucking biased. That is.
Keith, yeah. It was never about inclusion. You know that.
Yeah.
We all know that. It's about taking things away. That's it. Yeah? That's all it really is. It's about removing things from people and making them unhappy. What a fucking miserable start. You're a dick. There you go. Let's move on to our first story. Come on!
There has been some good stuff. But anyway, go on.
Still a dick.
Oh no! What happened? Oh no! How terrible! That's just awful! How terrible! Oh no!
We finally got a proper update on Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, and thankfully, it doesn't sound as if Sony. It doesn't sound as if Sony has locked the film in a cupboard alongside other questionable Spider-Man decisions. Producer Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, I say that they are in deep into making the final installment, with the team actively working in the editing room. Miller says the movie is coming together quite well, although he admits there is still a lot of the film and a lot of work left to complete. The big technical challenge, it appears to be the IMAX presentation. The filmmakers have been testing footage in IMAX headquarters to make sure the animation has enough resolution to hold up on the enormous 1.43:1 screens. So this isn't simply the previous film stretched onto a larger canvas. They actively designed it as part of the movie format. The film is currently scheduled to run in cinemas 18th of June 2027. It's more than 3 years later than the original March 2024 release date, but production problems and punishing work conditions reported across the Spider-Verse is taking its time to finish properly, and preferably rather than destroying another animation team just to hit an arbitrary date. Problem: those kids, they've grown up. that's it. Really, those kids have all grown up. They watched Into the Spider-Verse, and then they grew up, and then they watched the thingy, and they're probably at fucking university or in the workforce at the moment. So IMAX, is it worth it? No, it's not worth it. I'll be honest with you.
I don't quite understand. It's not hand-drawn animation. So AI computer generate, image. I don't quite get why it should take this long these days in this modern world. It's not hand-drawn animation. It's not like they're sitting there painstakingly making a 5 years worth. I can understand why. I don't understand why it was delayed, because it was meant to come out like a year later and it just didn't happen.
It was supposed to be March 2024. And my son's grown up to the point that he's picked his university and he's working towards getting his grades. That's the thing with this.
You and me are still Spider-Man fans, so we're going to go and see this. I mean, it's not like we're not going to go and watch this. I mean, I saw the other two. I saw the first one in the cinema because you guys went, it's good, go and see it. Even Nige said it was good. And when Nige is actually enthusiastic about anything, it's worth going to see. And then the second one I really enjoyed, with all the little sort of Easter eggs in there, like the Donald Glover in one of those traps in the sort of future or wherever he was in that, and the bad guy in the second one was really good. I know why part of it's been delayed, because they were busy working on Hail Mary, which is now, believe it or not, already on streaming. Gone are the days where it would come out on DVD and it might appear on streaming a year later. It's already on Prime Video. It launched this weekend. So it's madness.
It's weird to think it's taken this long, and I think what probably happened is they were working on it. They're probably working towards a deadline, and they overran, and they went, we're not going to hit the window. And then they went, we've got 3 other films that we need to work on. And Sony have gone, you know what? You did 2 solids with that first one. We're pissed, but please just do what you did for the other one and get it out sometime. I imagine they're probably in a few raised voices with it. So yeah, it's weird because it says that it was it's the IMAX thing. Yeah,
but
I don't know if they've done this to make a bit more money to keep the bods in the executive suite sorted. But yeah,
but again, computer animation, vector graphics. It doesn't matter what you. We're obviously not getting all the information here, but I don't think it's hand drawn. And if it's done on a computer, it's probably done in vector. And if it's done in vector, it doesn't matter what fucking resolution it outputs at.
Well, it'll be probably maybe Blender, but you can upscale the output. The downside is you upscale the output, it takes a lot more. It takes a small farm of computers to do that.
That's probably what it is. It's probably
so. So did you Iron Lung? Yeah, beginning of this year, horror film. Markiplier did. Yeah. He had a small farm of Apple pros, all just trained together to do the animation, to render the animation for that. So I imagine that's probably happening there. But at the same time, too, why did you just not leave it normally? As I said, the kids are grown up. You missed the window. I would, if I was Sony, I would re-release the Spider-Verse films. Seriously, I'd consider re-releasing them month after month until this one comes out, so to remind people what it was. And those who never watched it and get the joy of watching one month later, and 1 month later after that, they're going to be fucking well happy with that. Everyone else, yeah. I want to know what's going to happen with the Spot, because that is one of those villains that myself and my brothers always talked about being kind of an underused Spider-Man villain, and it had potential, and they seem to have lent into what they saw as potential. But yeah, I imagine what's probably happened is they did a lot of the film, they edited a lot of the film, they got to about 80%, they went away, animators and people got reassigned to other tasks, and because they got assigned to other tasks, and then they had to be then brought back onto this task to finish it off. So it took some time to get everything back up to speed and this, that, and the other. And imagine it's like building a building. Yeah, you build 80% of it. You haven't outfitted the inside of the building. You haven't got all those other bits sorted, but you need to get it all done. And no one's been working on it for 2-3 years. I think that's what we're looking at here. Oh, and then they decided to put in another floor while they're at it, and that's gone fucked everything up. Not talking from experience there. But it's weird. It's the certainty level on this is high. I've got multiple sources for this, from a podcast to that, but it's there's an Empire podcast, Sony Picture Animations put something into, I think, Lee Games Radar. They all put something out, but I mean, I want to watch it. The problem I've got at the moment is I've waited too long. I have to go back and watch the other two.
Oh yeah,
to understand what the fuck's happened.
That's the problem, not just in films at the moment, it's in streaming as well. As I said, Avatar at the beginning, the kids are too old now. This is why they've got to make sure when they're doing this Harry Potter shit that they're going to have to be constantly filming to do this TV series. So, I know that they're in production now on season 2, but they've got to make sure that season 2 is out, in 2028. And so forth, because these kids get older. And it's the same with this.
Yeah. So anyway, with that, I'll go on to our next story. Hang on a second. We'll have that for a moment. Right. That's consolation prize there. Claudia Christian has admitted she feels torn over the possibility of rebooting Babylon 5. And honestly, that sounds like a sensible reaction. Christian, who played Commander Susan Ivanova, says part of her would love to see the series return because of its political themes remain painfully relevant. But she also questions whether anyone could recreate the particular chemistry, timing, and cast that made the original work. And the real issue here is not Babylon 5 is just a space station or some dodgy 90s CGI rendered on an Amiga, delivering magnificent speeches in dimly lit corridors. It was a tightly planned 5-year story with a cast who gradually became inseparable from the characters. There's an official reboot in development by creator Michael J. Straczynski for the there was an official reboot for Babylon 5 from J. Michael Straczynski. Fucking get an easier name for the CW, but that version was trapped in development following the changes to the network. So Christian isn't reacting to newly announced production. She's discussing whether Babylon 5 should ever be rebuilt at all, and whether it's worth returning to that universe. Returning to that universe would be exciting, heartbreaking, or both. Perfectly legitimate.
If anything,
I'll be honest with you.
That's what you do.
I'll be honest with you. That's a perfectly legitimate thing to say.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think
it's
you
a
can.
Total response. Did you? Right, apparently, so it's funny you said this. I've been watching lots of B5 stuff recently, and there was an interview with her and Bruce Boxleitner, and they were saying that one day that they were all given an anti-sexual harassment policy to sign, and none of the actors refused to sign it. They all refused to sign it, and they turned around and went, "What's the point of going to work if you can't sexually harass your co-workers?" was their comeback. And JMS said that he worked with a group of fucking smart asses, and it was quite irritating at times, but it made things interesting. So it depends what you're going to do with a reboot, because the original 5-year story arc that JMS had planned didn't get followed through. Do you know what's supposed to happen at the end of the original arc of Babylon 5?
Well, the whole Sheridan was not a character that was originally conceived. It was all to do with what's his face?
Sinclair.
Sinclair, the actor, had issues. He was sick. and yeah, I knew that Sheridan was an added character from the plan.
But they changed the end. Do you know what happened at the end of Babylon 5?
No.
Shadows turn up and destroy the station. Then they go back in time and steal B4 to replace it. That's how it ended. But he changed it.
B4 disappeared because they had
that was the original.
Yeah.
That was the original plan. It was to destroy the station. They were supposed to turn up and wipe it out, but he changed his mind. But the way he wrote it, he had lots of things that allowed him to change his mind and put things in there.
I think what you do is you go back and remaster it. If anything, you do what they did with the next gen. You clean it up, you 4K it. You probably have to redo all the effects, and I don't think that will ever happen. But if you're going to do anything, you remaster it. Can you imagine? If they were, I mean, those White Stars are still the fucking coolest ships ever created. But can you imagine if that was done in today with a proper fucking budget? Like if the guys that did like Battlestar and fucking Firefly got their hands on that, what they could do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it would just look epic.
Yeah, it is.
You can't recast it. The sets are a bit wooden, but so is next gen. You can't recast it. You can't recast it.
It's annoying. I think if you were to redo it, you could redo it to the original story arc. And if you could do it again, because that way technically there'll be a divergent point when you go to watch it. Yeah. So as you're watching this, you get that divergent point, and that would be interesting because people are going, "Oh, it's this. It's that's different," and that would be interesting, and it would still be kind of in line with that mapped out story that he had. Because originally the Shadows weren't an ancient race; they were just an ancient evil that had always been in the galaxy, and just turns up every so often, and kills everyone, and then they push it back, and then it comes back again. So he kind of changed that in regards to that because he felt it kind of made a bit more sense. But I love Star Furies. Fucking, I was on a chat with AI about Star Furies because it's just a fucking awesome, like kind of as a ship design. That's some really fucking good ship designs in there. You talk about the White Star, which is good, but something like the fucking Shadow ships themselves. Yeah, there's a guy called Ron Thornton who designed them, and you know what he designed them on? He did design them on a spider. So if you had a spider come down to your face, if you ever have the misfortune to walk under a spider and it drops on you, it's roughly the same shape as a fucking Shadow ship. Yeah.
True.
And it was just that kind of fear. And I love
sea urchins always remind me of the Shadow ships when you see them underwater, because of all the spikes. But how the hell could you recast any of those characters? They're right that the actors became synonymous with the I just don't. I mean, partly because half of them are now dead. But Shakar, Londo, I can't see anybody else playing Londo. He was just so damn good at the part.
Jakar was probably the best one, and they were only supposed to be like side characters, and when they two got together, him and Peter Jurasik, they were great, absolutely great. And the fact that Jakar's makeup aged with him, his spots started going in like he was going grey. I love that, and he looks like a proper fucking alien. Star Trek makeup was not the same fucking level as B5's. Yeah, B5 when you had they clearly put effort into they were an alien, perfectly alien. Everything was alien, and it moved and they could scowl and it would come with it. Where in like Star Trek, it was always they always just stuck shit on people's foreheads and noses. Yeah, I like Star Trek, but be honest, they did, with the exception of Jem'Hadar. I think.
I mean, B5 went further with aliens. And I mean, the Vorlons, the concept of the Vorlons. and even the shadows, the concept there that they were more alien like. But again, it's going back. I mean, Susan Ivanova is still one of my favorite female characters in any science fiction anywhere, and it is that fucking speech she makes. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love her anyway because she's no nonsense, and I mean, yeah, I'm kind of half attracted to that, but I love the speech. That, I mean, she still has one of the greatest speeches in science fiction, and it's just such a powerful speech, and it's fucking great, and it's one of those it's one of those rare moments. So yeah, no, I love it. But I want to.
Yeah.
And again, Delenn, you can't recast Delenn.
Oh, Mara Furlan's great.
I mean, you can't even recast Sheridan, in my opinion. I mean, I suppose Sheridan, as much as I hate to say this, is probably the most recastable of the lot, but I wouldn't recast him much. There's so many characters that I love. What's his face? The Rangers chap that gives up his life to save. Oh God, that episode. To save Ivanova, and no. B5 is near as damn perfect as you're ever going to get. And the only thing that you can do with B5 is remaster it, and it should be remastered. Actually, it deserves to be. It's still one of the greatest science fiction shows ever created. I mean, it's to be taken out of any of the dodgy sets, be taken out of any of the dodgy effects, and still come away more satisfied than high budget alternatives. Nah, I mean, if I had to pick a show right now, it still is B5. I know you're smiling because you're a bastard, because you kind of were a drug dealer when it came to the original B5 videos.
It's like it goes first 3 episodes free. Yeah, no, it was really good. I think I've said this before. I wouldn't do, if I were to redo it, B5 told its story, which is great. Crusades didn't quite finish off its story. So if you got a chance with Crusades there, if you wanted to do that. And then the one I always reckon they should do is Space Above and Beyond more, because that never got to finish its story. It got going. I'm just going to quote you Zunavonova's second best speech. Here we go. On your trip back, I'd like you to take time to learn the Babylon 5 mantra. Ivanova is always right. I will listen to Ivanova. I will not ignore Ivanova's recommendation. Ivanova is God. And if this ever happens again, Ivanova will personally rip out your lungs. You couldn't imagine anyone in Star Trek doing that. No. Yeah, because it's like kind of, could you imagine like that? It's like Next Generation. Poor fucking Worf in the Next Generation was so mistreated. Yeah, it's like you can find compilations of Picard telling Worf not to do something, which is perfectly logical and would have saved the crew at the time. Yeah, and then literally first day with fucking Cisco, he makes a recommendation, and Cisco goes, "I'll listen to you next time." And that's the writers knowing that Worf was mistreated in fucking what do you call it? Next Generation.
Next Gen.
That's why I like Deep Space Nine better.
I like Deep Space Nine, and having done the rewatch, you're absolutely right. But I'm trying to think of. You could tell a story in the B5 universe. You can't remake B5, and I don't know what the fuck JMS was thinking. I'd like to know what he was thinking. I'd like to know what he was thinking, but it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. It's fucking perfect. Even now, 30 years on, it is still fucking perfect. It just is. I mean, Garibaldi. Fuck me, you can't recast that. You can't. You just. I'm sorry, he played it so fucking well. Even as a hologram, he's an annoying bastard, and it's great. It's fucking great. It really is. I mean,
Yeah.
so much that show heavily influenced my life and thinking and things. And I don't know another show that has had that level of effect on me. I mean, other shows I've enjoyed and I've loved, but there's something about B5. It's damn near perfect, and I could not see anybody else in any of those roles.
Yeah, it's
I love those characters.
There's one thing in I think it's in the third season where they go to steal B4, and they're watching the playback of what happens, and actually just done it now. And you see the shadows. They got there's little shadow fighters moving a bomb towards the station to blow it up, and then something starts shooting at them, and it's the fucking White Star. And that I did it now. It sent a shiver down my fucking spine thinking about it, because you watch that and you go, "Oh, it's fucking us." It's great, fantastic.
There were so many moments, and I remember at the time you saying about the big battle scenes in it, and I mean, I could say the same about the characters in Deep Space Nine, because there is no one else that I think could do Odo. Funny enough, his voice is so distinctive because, again, I was watching Avatar the cartoon and he voices several characters in that, but I know who it is because it's all Odo.
Did you hear about his audition? He just walked in a mood, yeah, read his lines and walked out and didn't say hello or goodbye to anyone, and they went, "That's him." They did exactly what we wanted.
I mean, I think Odo and Quark are among my favourite characters in Deep Space Nine, and again, I don't think you could ever recast them. And I mean, I loved Worf in that show more. I liked Worf in Picard season 3, to be honest, but and he's probably my favourite character in that. But nah, B5, you can't. When we talked about it a few years ago, I was kind of like, nah. I'm hoping this isn't a reboot. I'm hoping this is something within the universe. You can't touch.
If you're gonna do it, finish fucking Crusades off.
Yeah.
Give us the end to Crusades. I know that they had a 5-year story arc, and at the end they were supposed to sort the Drac plague out at the end of the second year, which was quite mad. All right, let's move on to our next story. I should have picked Tim Curry. I'm going to pick Tim Curry because I love Tim Curry.
I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
Him and Alan Rickman got some great fucking deliveries. MobLand is officially returning for its second season on Paramount Plus on Friday, the 18th of September, 2026. And the first trailer suggests the Harrigan family has learned absolutely nothing from the blood-stoked catastrophe of season 1. Tom Hardy is back as a professional fixer, Harry D'Souza, alongside Pierce Brosnan and Helen Mirren as Conrad and Maeve Harrigan. The new season will once again contain 10 episodes and follow the family as their internal divisions, competing heirs, and outside enemies threaten to tear their criminal empire apart. The trailer is selling more violence, betrayal, and increasingly exhausted Tom Hardy. Reactions with Harry caught in the middle of the middle as the Harrigans appear to slide towards full-blown family civil war. And yes, Hardy has returned as we always expected from season 2, because it had already taken place before the recent stories and arguments behind the scenes. The more interesting question is what happens after this season, following the conflicts and reports whether Hardy's fallen out with them without the producers or might return on for a possible third run. We think it's true. We hope it's true. We want it to be true. But we haven't really got anything to say it is true. I think it's the best way of describing it. That's the worst fucking thing. It's the worst way of saying it. But
the studio, it's funny. Usually when the studio doesn't put out a denial when the story went as wide as it did initially, means it's probably true. The fact that now everybody's saying he's back for season 3 and this is being carried by all the major media things, and the studio still hasn't denied it, tends to, usually studios not denying something tends to be true.
I think it goes like this. If the second season is a success, he'll stay. If it's not a success, he will go. And they might even end it there and then. That's it. I think if it's not successful, or if it doesn't quite hit their expectations, then they can use it as a chance to rejig things to make them more interesting. So, there's that there. I think that it may, it's like we got fucking office politics sort of shit going on in the background. But it's a great fucking TV series, though.
Yep.
It really is. And you need Harry D'Souza because it kind of all swirls around him, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, he's the son.
Yeah.
In it.
Even though fucking Helen Mirren's brilliant in it.
Which is fucking awesome.
Her and fucking Pierce Brosnan, the way she manipulates him and winds him up and points him in a direction and lets him go. And he's got that kind of, he doesn't look like it, but he's got that real psychotic element underneath him. But I think that Conrad, who's Pierce Brosnan's character, is going to fucking love it in prison for some reason. Don't know why. He's going to be, what's his name? Mr. Breacher, or whatever it was in the Italian Job. He'll be like him. But yeah. So it's a weird one. I think, as I said before, I think they just suspended him and said, we'll come back to this. Yeah, let's finish off the fucking series, get it out the gate.
I think it will have a third season. I think it's popularity, but I can't see it dwindling. People love a good gangster show. And people like Tom Hardy. He is watchable. And the fact that you've had Helen Mirren and Pierce Brosnan playing such fucking great characters. And what's his face as the brother, who is, again, a very good actor. Yeah, no, I love MobLand. It's fucking awesome.
I've just realised there's a trailer that we've missed.
No, there isn't. I've sent it to you.
No. No. There's another gangster TV series that had a trailer out from Guy Ritchie.
Oh shit! Yes, there's that as well.
I'll add it in when we get to the comments. Remind me, please. But coming back to it, it's good. I'm annoyed that it's not on now. Yeah. I really am annoyed because I'd love to be watching it now. Yeah, because I need that kind of TV thing. Because at the moment, all I've got TV-wise is the Silo.
There's fuck all on at the moment.
It's the Silo. That's it.
Nothing's come back, and I don't know if there's anything in waiting. There's a couple of films that look interesting, but I'm not sure there's much in the way of TV series this month or in August. But it's the summer month, so it never is. But it's particularly quiet at the moment, which is kind of weird because streaming services have been chucking shit out and there's just nothing. Nothing that we want to watch.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to
you've got Spider-Man in 2 weeks.
Yes, we have got Spider-Man in 2 weeks. I do think he might be infected by the Venom symbiote. I'm hoping he's infected by the Venom symbiote. Otherwise, he's got the Shadow King in it and it's using him as a base. Sounds really odd, and it leaves him to go into Jean Grey completely, and that's why he's immune to Huffy stuff because he's already been inside him. That sounds like fucking Jimmy Savile when I describe that. So let's go to our last piece of news. What do we have? Oh, here you go.
Say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Apple is pushing ahead with its Monarch Legacy spin-off, and one of and this one sounds less like another controversial Godzilla series, more like a Cold War spy thriller where someone has accidentally left a Titan lying around. Wyatt Russell returns as the young Colonel Lee Shaw in an untitled prequel set in 1984. Shaw is sent behind enemy lines to stop the Soviet Union from unleashing a newly discovered Titan powerful enough to destroy the United States completely and alter the balance of the Cold War. The project has now added The Last Kingdom's Millie Brady, and Game of Thrones and Foundation's actor Pilu Asghar to the cast, which suggests the production is moving beyond the vague development stage towards becoming an actual television. And this isn't just Apple ordering one random spin-off. Job Harold has been hired to run the series and oversee Legendary's wider Monsterverse output for Apple, meaning Lee Shaw's adventure is supposed to be the beginning of a much larger television expansion involving both familiar and new Titans.
I
fuck up
kind
as
of
much.
enjoyed Monarch season 2. I do kind of like young what's his face, Russell what's his face's son, Kurt Russell's son, and seeing the two of them on screen at one point was kind of cool when they were talking to each other in season 2. I went timey-wimey, but I'm up for this. It sounds kind of interesting. It sounds kind of cool. I mean, there's been a few sort of 80s espionage things or 70s espionage things recently, and both of them have been really cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I've enjoyed it.
Okay. So, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, 1984. All right, cool. Is it going to fucking go into... Is it gonna? Is that 84 Chernobyl or 86? Sure, 86 for Chernobyl. I'll be building up to that.
84.
Yeah, it's so I think it might lead into that, if that makes any sense. Maybe something eats radiation or something along those lines. We've already had one of those, and it's just it's one of those things. Why Russell probably couldn't do with the work, but depends what they're going to do, because they'll figure out some way of like harnessing the Titan and making it work. But fingers crossed it'll be good. Yeah, I think it will be being a bit more 80s might give it license to be a bit more kind of familiar. Does that sound odd thing to say?
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I'm kind of quietly looking forward to this if it gets made.
Yeah.
I kind of enjoyed Monarch.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm hoping this will be good.
Yeah. So Cold War era, big monkey punch big lizard. Which will be good. Right. I think I didn't get time to put the sharing on properly, but I think it's time for the comments. So, sorry, I played it on the bloody thing. There we go. So where are we? If we go to, I've got the wrong fucking chat window open. So who got here first? It was Biffa. Hello, Biffa.
Hey, buddy.
Yes. And then in the second place is Chuck. Move it.
Hey, Chuck.
Can't long celebrating. What's Chuck celebrating?
His dad's
Wedding.
88th birthday.
Ah, okay, cool. 88, good year. It's fucking just unlucky. And then Steve. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve. Sorry, mouthful of water.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And then it's Spidey. Yes, we're talking about Spider-Man, but it's Miles Morales Spider-Man, which I always believe should be a better character. Yeah, it got postponed quite a bit. But yeah, and then we've got Angel. Hi, Angel. I haven't sent you a forecast in a while. I promise I will. And then Sydney Sweeney reaction. Yay! Yes, yay! Woo!
Hang on. Send him a forecast. Do you send him the weather? Is it like Farsight? Today it will mostly be Scotchier.
I will play the forecasts that I've been sending to him, and you'll find them amusing. And oh yeah, it's fucking Sydney Sweeney's got all the men in trouble here. It's fucking the blood's left my muscly brain. Closed system. And then Angel laughing at that. Hi. Hey, it's Laurie. Hi, Laurie.
Hey, Laurie.
Hey, everyone. Original plans for Bronze cancelled. Oh, shame. We can.
Hope everything's
I'm sure
all
something
right.
good will happen. Yeah. And then fingers crossed everything's all right. They should start a new series. They shouldn't just look to do a recast. B5 was one of the great shows ever. Agreed with you. Full stop. It's funny because as a TV show, I would describe it closer to Lord of the Rings than I would say Star Trek or Star Wars, if that makes any sense. B5 Reboot would probably recast Sheridan as a purple hair freak. Yeah. Susan Lavona said the coolest things. Yes, she did. I love the fact that everyone's a little bit scared of her, but her colleagues would take the piss out of her. Why do they insist on reboots? I mean, loved B5, but do something new. That's just as good. Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, well, they're not really reboots, or anything else. Make something new that's good. They can't. They're not capable of it. Seriously, they are incapable of it. Korea's not capable. Korea's got the capability of it. So if you come up with a good idea for a US TV series, go to Korea, get it made into Korea for Netflix, and then have it then sold back to the US, but with a Korean cast. Number 2. Who does number 2 work for? With oh, hang on a second. Hashtag Yoga or Keithy Ogre. Is it Keithy Ogre?
I think they're getting up my gym workout videos that my wife has been posting on my Facebook.
Ha 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 ha. Keith Yoga. Hashtag
beefcake. Even I said that today.
You're going to gain to subbed at 202. Must be the beefcake.
Beefcake.
Let's close this down. So, Biffa had sent me a video. Johnny's the funny thing is, I do yoga once a week. I'm fucking shit at it.
So am I. My knees can't do it, but I sit with my wife every day in the gym doing it.
Yeah, it's funny because I've got bad shoulders, so I can't do half the things that involve my shoulders, which is like mostly all of it. But my fucking yoga teacher loves. It's like, Gareth, come sit up here at the front of the class. Can't have you at the back disrupting everyone. So this is what Biffa has sent me. Hopefully, I'm showing the sound.
I must show you something.
Why is the maid here?
Why? Helen is gone, so tonight we celebrate! We don't fight wars for maids! Back in the water where you belong!
Do you know what I find really funny is they always glue that fucking bit at the back, yeah, with Michael Bay. So whatever these AI things, is always Michael Bay did it. But yeah, that's I still don't get that fucking casting. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
No.
Yeah, if she was a fucking Spartan, wasn't she? Helen Troy was a Spartan. I'm sure she was a fucking Spartan. But hey ho, it's one of those things. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be shit. We don't know. That's what we got next.
Tanith, you want to be watching right now?
No, she doesn't.
Yes, she does.
No, she doesn't. No, she fucking doesn't.
Yeah, she does.
No, she doesn't.
I trusted you! You promised me that you would never take power in your name. You convinced me that this was your home. That I was your home.
What do you know about me?
You've conquered the galaxy. You've destroyed thousands of worlds.
I recognise that voice.
think you're way beyond redemption.
Why are you here?
To deliver a peace proposal.
Peace is a good thing. Why should I refuse?
Because it's meant to destroy you.
We plan to strike at the core of Imperial power.
You intend to kill Paul?
Regime change.
Idiot. You've just signed our death warrants.
I found someone. The future has a way of talking to me. I can't see what's ahead.
How does it feel to be human like everyone else, Paul Atreides?
You have no fear, do you?
I fear dishonor.
You sound like an Atreides.
I've been told I was one.
Forgive me for all I've done.
Hang on a second. Sorry. I hadn't seen the trailer beforehand. Did we get a spacing guild representative?
Yeah, I think it's the thing in the
Red pod, yeah.
yes. The Spacing Guild does have to be in this.
Yeah, they should have been in at the fucking first film. That was one of my.
Arguably, their parts are not very big in the first two books, but in this one, they have to be.
Yeah,
because they are the ones that are essentially allowing Paul to allow the jihad to happen.
Yeah.
And obviously he is well, if you don't know the books, then I'm probably not. There is a few things in that right at the end there. Anna Taylor-Joy is in it as his sister. There's a site at the end where Paul is blind. That's good, because that's following the I think it's going to be a mixture of both books. Either they're going to do Messiah and part of the Children of Dune, but we will see. We will see. But yeah, I think it has to have the Spacing Guild in it. I really do. But yeah, I mean, I like the Dune films. I think they're incredibly well made. Dune 2, cinematography in Dune 2 is incredible. And it gives me hope that there is still some talent out there for making films. You don't particularly have to like Dune 2, but the cinematography is kind of epic. And it looks like the third film is going to be good. I'm glad that they're making it. I'm glad it's been made. I am looking forward to December.
It's funny. It's my fucking brother. Tanis asked, "Do you know when you're going to make a Jason Momoa video like your Sydney Sleamy?"
Oh, I can do one of those.
Ones? Oh no, it goes like this. When you get your own podcast, you can do that.
I'll make one.
That's the answer.
Don't worry.
No, you're not.
I'll make one.
No, you're not.
Even if it's on my phone and I just go like that.
Anyway, it's next one. I haven't seen any of these trailers, but that's why I'm quite quiet.
This is quite good.
核攻撃にも耐えるそうですな。それは人間のやっていいことの範疇を超えてる。あんた自分が一体何してるのか分かってんのかよ。
Keanu dead.
Mhm.
And it's IMAX. Which means it's got a bigger budget, but I hope it still has the vein of the first one. Nuking him, though. They're going to nuke him. They're going to nuke him.
You know what? I'll make that agree. I will. So Biffa said, make a Jason Momoa video if England wins the World Cup. I will take that.
You know who we've got next, right, Biffa? You know it, right? I tell you what. If we win that one, I almost don't care about the final. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love to win the World Cup, but can you imagine if we beat them on in the semis? That is as good, in my opinion. That will be a glory. Oh fuck! Every fucking time. Anyway, next one.
Yeah.
This is not a football podcast. Aha!
It's not a football.
There's one more that you need to ready while we're watching this.
I've already done that. Crikey, amateur.
You told me to remind you. I reminded you.
Right. This hasn't exactly been a wonderful 24 hours for me, yeah.
Is he talking about the thing in real life?
I'm under a lot of pressure. The people that I work for, the Harrogans, they run North London.
Should we go on the back?
Is he going mad in like a fucking Waitrose or something?
Don't know the name? Then Google us.
This family is on the brink of civil war. Ripe for the picking.
Evening, boys.
Fucking hell, is he just shooting everyone randomly?
Like your style.
Sorry. And I appreciate that. Thank you.
Right, hang on a second. I think that guy in the back, it's got nothing to do with anything. Yeah, I think he accidentally kidnapped a cyclist. Yeah, and he's just like spilt his guts to the cyclist. If that makes any sense. But fucking hell, Pierce Brosnan and Helen Mirren look like on a fucking rampage. Absolutely, they've got a complete rampage. I'm really looking forward to it. It looks like there's a new character in there. I have no idea who he is. But yeah, that's the first time I've watched a trailer for TV and gone, really looking forward to fucking September the 18th or 17th, where it is.
I am as well.
It's mad, but it's I have to wait. Bloody hell. There'll be a World Cup in place. So let's see, this is the one you missed.
If you're looking for prestige, heritage, that would be the Duke. Lily, he's a mischievous spirit.
How do you do?
I do very well.
For years, we've been living in the zoo and contracting. Now we're living in the jungle and expanding.
You want to take the fucking mafia on? Never know. Might enjoy it.
You don't know what is your place in the food chain. I will show you.
I have a clear idea what I want these days.
What's that?
Everything.
Oh, fuck me. It's going to be on the same time.
We have lots of interesting things to talk about in September.
I really liked the sort of, I don't know if it was purpose on the, but him in the E-type Jag, or on the sort of Lake Como, that worked. That worked. Yeah.
So my wife's response to Biffa's challenge, which I have graciously accepted, because if England win, I'll be so happy I won't fucking care. Yeah.
It's true.
Is, damn it, Biffa, it'll never get made. I win either way.
I'm gonna make it. Don't worry.
No, you're not. I noticed your t-shirts aren't matching today. Yes, they're not.
See. It's not that what they're matching. It's they notice when they're not fucking matching. There's no psychic link. Honestly, I don't know how the fuck we do it.
You have to remember, my mind is like a finely built computer, and Keith's is like a baked potato.
Fuck you.
You wouldn't expect anything less from me, Keith. You wouldn't expect anything less from me, right?
I liked all 4 of the trailers. I am excited for all of those things.
I'm really excited for MobLand. As I said, I hadn't watched it. I avoided watching
I'm
it.
excited for those. I'm very excited for Godzilla as well, to be honest, and I'm very excited for Dune Part 3. But I think I liked them more than you did, but that's fine. But I am very excited for MobLand. I'm very excited for The Gentleman. I did forget The Gentleman, because and they're both really good shows in their own right. They're different. Which, but you've got Ray Winston in The Gentleman, which I'm gonna love seeing sort of Ray Winston back. He was fucking great in the first series. Ray Winston.
That is gonna be interesting.
I
still think that they should put Ben Kingsley in either MobLand or The Gentleman.
Yeah, he was. Right. He was. Yeah. Was it Beast he was in, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a fucking great film. He has some great lines in that. Yeah, some great lines in that. Right. Silo.
Yes, I forgot how fucking slow the Silo was as a TV show. I really had forgotten how slow it was. I'd been so used to watching kind of things with breakneck bits and resolved. And it's funny because I was watching at the beginning bit and Tanith asked me a question. I'm like, no, that's the setup for the episode. It's like kind of, this is what we're going to be talking about for this entire episode. That's the setup, and it'll get resolved towards the end. It didn't get quite resolved towards the end, which means it gets resolved at the beginning of the next one, which is what they do to make you carry on watching it. But yeah, you can hear that guy's voice in the computer. So where you're in the past and you're with the guy who's the sophomore, freshman senator or representative or whatever it is for the US Congress, you can hear his voice when the I can't remember what the head of IT or whatever they call him is talking to, and then they go into the memory drugs too, so we know where the memory drugs have come from as well. So we kind of see how what they were developed for. The problem is the way these memory drugs are kind of put together is really it's annoying because it's technically another fucking story inside the story, which isn't letting us get to the story. But it is part of the story, if that makes any sense. Yeah, it's like we're just going to go down this side road here about the memory drugs and stuff, and it makes sense to try and use these to remove things like PTSD, etc. So remove those bits there to ease kind of servicemen's kind of issues that they have with PTSD, shell shock, or whatever you want to call it. Which is interesting, but at the same time too, when you talk to when the scientist was talking to him, it was like, no, we can just pick and choose the memories we want to make the person we want, which makes it's that was a bit off. I was hoping we'd get more about the fucking nano clouds or whatever they are that destroyed the fighters over on something, but it's like we deviated onto mind altering, memory altering drugs, and it's like I don't want to sound Don't sound like an arsehole, but that's not where the story is.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know why we're doing that. Yeah, and that's the bit that gets me. And it's if you were given hints that she was having flashbacks to what happened to her, the only thing that you've got there to indicate that this cloud or whatever it is that caused the fighters to go down and is hanging over the silos is that they ripped out the expensive comm system and put in ones from the 80s to make sure it wouldn't fuck up.
I have a theory. I know where this season's going to end. I will be honest at the end of the season, say, yeah, it's going to end exactly where I think it is, or no, I was wrong. The story has slightly deviated with the memory drugs being used on Juliet because, again, surprise whammon, the new head of IT doesn't exist in the books. Neither she nor her husband exist. But the memory drugs do that part does exist. But again, the sister doesn't forget like this is because of the source material. Some of it's sticking to the source material, but large parts, as we talked about last week, are not. And again, I suppose that it annoys me. But you're seeing this through a different lens, not knowing the source material. Usually, it's the other way around. So it's interesting seeing your reaction to it. This was a particularly slow episode after the first episode. Yeah, it was. But it is interesting flipping between the two things, and like what you're seeing. The flashback is book 2, right? You don't actually get the resolution to the end of book 1 until book 3. Now, I think this season is going to end halfway through book 3. So, believe it or not, this is running faster than it would have done because they took an entire 2 seasons to do 1 book, whereas they are actually going to do 2 books across 2 seasons. But they are switching between them. So I think if you know the book, I think it's going to end roughly halfway through book 3 and roughly probably 2/3 of the way through book 2. But you're right about the voice. What will be interesting is when we start seeing how the hibernation tech that they come up with, and we've seen some of that hinted at in the trailers, and we've seen like them going into the silos or visiting the silos. The memory drugs are obviously there to forget what happened to the outside world, so the memory drugs do exist and they're heavily mentioned, and that's how they reset a silo. And that's hinted at in it's running quicker than it did in the first 2 seasons. It's not as slow as it was in the first 2 seasons. It is faster. I mean, if I'm looking at this without looking at the material, there was a few blink and you miss, or go back and watch and you'll see it again, kind of revelations there. But the resetting of the silos, and obviously the memory drugs largely now gives you how they have forgotten, how they don't. Because one of the questions people had throughout is, how do you not know what stars are? That knowledge would have been passed down. You've got schools in there, school teachers and everything. Why don't they know what the stars are? Why don't they know things that are basic? Even if you've been in there for like 300 years and through 4 generations, that kind of information doesn't get lost. I mean, we've known about the fucking stars for 1,000 years, and that information got transferred on and on and on. So why don't they know about it? Well, now you know. So yeah, I just can't get past this whole surprise whamming thing, and it annoys me because I don't see what it brings to a story, and therefore the reasons that it gets done, we've spoken about before where it takes you out of the show. It's like the whole Black Snape thing. Whatever they're telling you, the reason they've done it for, it's a lie, and it's a lie. And when when you're being lied to and you know that you're being lied to, the human reaction is to react how we react. Yet we're called ists for reacting this way. We know that you did this, but you can't be honest for the reason that you did this. It's the same with Black Snape, and it's the same here. The problem is the show is quite good. And that makes it that much more frustrating. It's like, it's unbelievably frustrating with the Harry Potter show because the casting's so fucking good, except for one. Thanks, Laurie. But yeah, it's who we've got in the semi-final. It's the worst possible fucking team that we can get.
It'll be fine. We've got VAR on our side this time.
We definitely had it on our side last night. But we're not a football podcast. I mean, what's your take on it, other than it being slow?
Well, I feel that England's defence is not quite there, and when they attack, they don't feel very. Oh, sorry, you're talking about the silo. I think it's slow and it's not gripping me. Tanith loves it, which is great, and I'll watch it with her. And it's nice to have TV to watch together, but it's not. It's not gripping at all. It really isn't. Everything is just slowly, and it's not slow drawn out with lots of tension. Yeah, it's not slow drawn out. It's not. Maybe it's the books. Maybe if I read the books, I think the books are crap. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the story is just. It's like Bilbo described it. You know, it's trying to put too little butter on a slice of bread. Yeah, and it feels like that. Everything feels fucking drawn out longer than it needs to be. Yeah, if this was like done old school TV, this would have been a fucking mini series. Yeah, it'd have been 3 mini series of 2.5 hours worth of TV per book, and you would have got your answers, and everything would have happened, and all the interesting bits would have happened. But for some reason, they're determined and trying to drag it out. And the worst thing is, and Tan's brought this up, where she's turned around and says, I get confused between Silo and Fallout. You got Fallout, and all bitches and moans about Fallout. Shit's happening in Fallout. Lots of stuff is happening in Fallout, whether you like it or not.
It's heavily influenced by Fallout. But it's funny, I mean, it is a slow-paced, character-driven show. And you could argue that with Game of Thrones to a certain extent as well.
I would not say it's character driven.
They think it's character driven.
It's not character driven. The thing is when it's character driven, yeah, it's say like I'll give you an example of a character driven show. Yeah, I grab Quark and Odo, yeah, and I transport them to New York, yeah. And I put them in an empty room. They know they're going to go back to Deep Space Nine in 24 hours. Quark, you know what Quark's going to do straight away for 24 hours, and you know what Odo's going to do straight away because they're characters, and that's how character-driven stuff works. You can literally just grab them, pop them in a situation. Everyone pretty much knows which way they're going. These aren't so.
But you can argue that Juliet is reacting exactly with the way she was. And
no, they've removed her memories and removed her character.
But she's still acting like a character, being suspicious, hiding things.
Barely.
And I mean, even Donald, and I'm going to call him Donald because that's his fucking name. Over the radio, sort of said, you know, she's like this by nature, and we've got to try and stop her reacting like that because we don't want to lose the silo. He's actually. I mean, I think we've worked out that he's got good intentions. He doesn't want to lose the silo. I think they think it's character driven. Slightly. It's certainly a slow moving show, more focused on characters and character moments than necessarily progressing the story very far. And there's a lot of shows like that. I mean, Plurberus, fuck me. I mean, that was slower than this. I mean, I'm sorry, I really don't like Plurberus. The more I think about that show, right, the more I think you have totally wasted the concept, and you know, it's supposedly getting all these awards, and it's like, for what? Right, and all these people go, oh, you just don't understand the show. No, I do understand the show. I'm not stupid. I understand the show. It's just fucking boring, right? And there isn't, you know, the concepts that should be interesting are dealt in a boring manner. And I can see why people say the same about Silo. I do get that.
Yeah, what do you call it? With Pluribus, you know what I would have done to make it more entertaining? I'd have had it start off as a comedy and then go to horror.
Yeah.
Because that would have worked. Because you would have just turned and goes, oh, this is silly, blah, blah, blah. And then your brain starts realizing what's going on here. And you're like, oh, it's a slow managed decline of our species. They're destroying us. Oh. And then they're going to send a signal out and destroy another one. Oh. Yeah. And that's the kind of thing with that. But going back to Silo, Juliet character was there because they raised her memory. It's gone. The sheriff, what the fuck is the sheriff doing? He was more of a character fucking last season than he is this season. He's not doing anything. The guys down in mechanical, they're not fucking doing anything. The woman in supplies, the old lady in supplies, closest thing you got to a character at the moment, she's not fucking getting anything. There's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing there at the moment. It's driving me nuts.
I can see that. I get it. I mean, House of Dragon delivered a spectacular episode this week, actually. A really underrated, when you had the action of the previous episode, this was an underrated episode, but it was genuinely really good. Engaging episode, basically following her running the whole castle and how badly you don't realize how badly it had been run, and there was just lots of character moments. I really enjoyed House of Dragon this week. I genuinely thought it was a really fucking good episode. So there's that. I really enjoyed the ending of Star City. I think you should watch that. You might enjoy it. The ending is really good. The ending of season 1 is genuinely, I mean, it's tragic in one way, but it's brilliantly done. I really enjoyed Star City in the end. I mean, it's a bit bleak, but it's done very well. And it does. There's a few people go, oh, it doesn't fit with fucking space, Beyond For All Mankind. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because if you go back and watch For All Mankind, there are hints all the way through For All Mankind. And because if you knew anything about the USR, so if you grew up in the 80s like Gareth and I did, a lot of shit went on in the USR that no one had any idea about, right? So this is not entirely out of, a lot of stuff that they do in this show, they can get away with because no one knew about it, because they were very secretive. It's like what goes on in North Korea right now. No one knows, or a lot of people don't know. It's very secretive. So the thing that happens in the end of this episode, it's completely plausible, and it's completely plausible it wasn't in the For All Mankind show, because it's the USSR, and they were kind of secret about shit, especially when shit happens that they didn't intend to. They kind of covered that up. I mean, they covered up Chernobyl for quite a long time, and lied about it, and even now are still lying about it. So it's kind of like, this is not, I mean, there's a lot of people just going on about it, but they're all fucking millennials and never grew up in the 80s. But it's a good show. So there is some good stuff out there at the moment, and I've enjoyed a few things this week. I know where you're coming from the side, though. I've got bug up my ass for other reasons about it at the moment, but look, I'm glad Tanner's enjoying it. If I didn't know the source material, I'd probably enjoy it more than you. But I know what you mean by slow moving. I've enjoyed slow shows that you haven't. So that's fine, and it's a matter of taste. So, but I'm annoyed about it because I know the source material, and it's another one of these surprise whammon things, and that just takes me out of it at the moment. It bugs the shit out of me, because there is no. It's like, right. I'll tell you what. What bugs me is like, I remember me and my mum having an argument about Shelob, right? And the way they changed Shelob in Lord of the Rings, right? And I watched Lord of the Rings, right? And I know the source material of the Lord of the Rings. I know it really, really fucking well, right? I know why they changed what they did with Shelob. I know why they changed that to the third film, because it actually happens in the Two Towers, right? And it was all about momentum and pace of the film. That made sense. Them changing that made sense. The Hobbits going almost all the way back to Minas Tirith and then being let go and not let go at the Waterfield makes sense, because you had to see Faramir change, but you couldn't see that without in a book. You can explain the thoughts in his head. You can't do that visually in a movie, right? So again, that made sense. And I was trying to explain that to my mum, that you know, when you're making a movie, it's slightly different to a book, and there are things that you change. I don't get this in Silo. I don't get, you know, it just bugs the shit out of me. It really does. And it's the same with Black Snake. You know that that's going to change the story, right? So telling them they're making a faithful thing and then going and doing this, and you're putting in a political statement, that's why you're doing it. And and all these, you know, strong women things. Look, fucking create characters like Susan Ivanova and it's fine, right? That's a strong woman. That's a fucking awesome character. That character's gone through fucking pain and shit to get to where she is, and she's fucking awesome, right? But just gender swapping a man to a woman, it's boring and it doesn't work. It's why I got so bugged. You know, when I watched the cartoon, then go back and watch Avatar, and I'm watching it again going, oh, no, this ruins it for me now, because this is bugging me now, because there's no actual fucking reason to do this. Except that you want to promote strong women, which means that you don't like men. And that's a fucking problem, because now we've got lots of young men growing up. And if you think men are bad now, well, if you're going to remove all their role models, well fucking done. We're fucked.
But they can do what my son does. Go back and watch the old stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like kind of, he loves Aliens. Ellen Ripley, fucking fantastic character for him.
He was always going to love that, because you're his fucking father. It's like, I had no fight. I was always going to be a fucking Star Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings fucking nerd, because the very first fucking bedtime story that my mother read to me was The Hobbit, right? Your son was always going to be into aliens, because you're his dad. And, you know, his mum is a Farscape lover as well. You're both nerds, right? And I love you guys for it, right? You know, you're my people, right? My child would be, if I have a child, it'll be exactly the fucking same, right? It's going to grow up a geek, no matter what. My wife is a secret geek. I mean, she won't admit it, but she fucking is. You know, it's in his blood, man. It's in his blood. And I did, by the way, Tanith, sorry, the personal thing, those Facebook pictures, you guys look great at that concert. They did look good. Very, very, very goth. Yeah, I mean, I know your son loves the Aliens, and he should, because you love it. And I love Aliens, because you got me into that one with those fucking Sentry guns. And I love Aliens because it's the only fucking video game I've ever beaten you on.
And on that bombshell.
He's way better at video games than me.
On that bombshell. On that bombshell. I think it's time we went. Say goodbye, Keith.
Goodbye, Keith. See you later.
And we'll see you in the next podcast. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.